Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. Maria Brennan, a 17-year-old, begins the film by getting ready for school. She resides with her folks, Dan and Amy, in an extravagant home. However, she seems to be having a hard time because she is so reserved. Maria is a pariah at school, and she is many times harassed by a person named Imprint. Lily, however, is her only friend. Is a sure Olympic skater and has a sweetheart named Sean. Now and again, Maria finds herself desirous of her companion. Maria's guardians additionally stress over her standoffish quality. Additionally, they have repeatedly attempted to persuade her not to attend the upcoming school prom. Maria, in contrast to the majority of stereotyped overprotective fathers, is only concerned with her appearance and social standing. He actually believes that she is a mess because she doesn't care about boys or social activities. Maria knows about her folks' concerns. What's more, at some point, she slips into their room and attempts to put on her mom's cosmetics. However, when she observes something protruding from the mirror's edge, she abruptly stops. It's a strange sonogram image, which surprised her. Maria is in the bathroom in the middle of the night when she suddenly sees her reflection in the mirror. She loses her balance and falls. She quickly gets up and clears the steam from the mirror, gradually revealing her reflection to Maria, who is in complete shock. The reflection keeps on moving, provoking her to take off with dismay. Maria tries to tell their parents about the incident the next day. However, as expected, Maria is once more the target of Mark's bullying as he trips her and causes her to fall to the ground later at school, which they brush aside as concerns. Everyone laughed only. More troubled, yet shockingly, Sean shows up out of the blue and helps her up. He even pushes Mark and cautions him to avoid her. This thoughtful gesture energizes Maria, as nobody has at any point defended her. She takes a soothing bath after school to recall her previous encounter with Sean. But the sound of a baby Christ soon disturbs her. She is shaken to her core by the recollections of Mara's own birth. A short time later, she finds it hard to nod off. Out of nowhere, a voice calls out to out her, triggering her investigation. Look at that. It turns out to be her own image in the mirror. Maria initially displays fear, but she appeared up the boldness to address her. The reflection asserts that she is a room and refers to herself as such. Maria is direct inverse, sure, charming and prevailing that you then, at that point, look for some time and talk about their preferences as they become companions. Aaron offers to help Maria overcome her challenges and boost her self-assurance. Maria announces to her parents that she wants to go to the prom the following day, surprising them. In addition, she expresses interest in learning to skate for the winter prom later at school. Maria visits her father that evening to spend some time with him while she observes him getting close to a female patient. On the way back, she gets the hunch that he is having an affair, so she asks her to come visit him tomorrow at the clinic for an early birthday present. Maria told her reflection that her father is a bad person who only cares about himself when she shared this with her that night. Maria clearly doesn't buy this, so she safeguards her father, saying that he is intending to gift her a vehicle. Notwithstanding, the following day, Dan shocks Maria with a corrective method. Instead, he tells her that he wants to shrink her nose and ears, which are unusually large. This sincerely wrecks the young person, and she at last understands that Dan can't stand her flaw. Aaron consoles Maria and reassures her that they can teach their father a lesson in the following scene. Maria begins to feel better as the conversation drags on, and she also makes the observation that Amy is weak for putting up with Dan's toxicity. Furthermore, the two young ladies share a giggle. Amy is drawn in by this. What's more, she asks Maria, who she was conversing with when the last option can't offer her a palatable response. Amy starts to wonder if she is using drugs. Amy later raises her concerns to Dan, but he completely disregards them. He gives her some sleeping pills instead, puts on a face cream and puts her to bed before falling asleep. Amy mentions that her nightmares have resurfaced, but he assures her that they will disappear as usual. The day after that, Maria and Lily go to ice skating practice. Since our hero young lady has never ventured foot on ice, she effectively slips. And the ground is Faust. However, Lily rudely tells her to stay away from Sean rather than helping her up. Maria returns home and confides in Aaron, disappointed that her one and only friend has begun to dislike her. After soothing her for a while, the latter explains that Lily is a negative influence. Aaron, her popularity is all she cares about. She is Maria's only friend, and she is the only person who can ease her suffering. To accomplish this, she suggests that Maria switch sides by giving up control of her life. The perplexed teen is close to giving in and is getting ready to touch her reflection. Yet, right then, Amy shows up and lets you know that she's getting late for prom. Surprised, Maria rapidly puts on the prom dress and races to school. She is overcome by the bustling crowd, glittering lights, and booming music, and she fears falling, so this turns out to be a bad choice. Maria finds it hard to give up. She is about to leave, but Sean comes up to her at the last minute and lends a helping hand. Maria gladly agrees. Thus the two advance toward the focal point of the arena and begin moving in one another's arms. Lily, who is close by, observes the entirety of this go down and becomes desirous. So she intentionally surprises Maria, causing her to lose equilibrium and tumble to the ground. Sean tries to help her, but Lily gets in the way and stops him. Even worse, the bully Mark shows up at the scene and begins to drag Maria across the line. Every one of the understudies just watch her shout and argue for help, disregarding her feelings completely. At the point when imprint at last stops, Maria takes off from the premises, humiliated. She finds this to be the last straw. As a result, in the end, she decides to let Aaron run her life. They lift their heads and touch their hands, initiating the transformation in the manner of a sexy fusion dance. Maria will be the one in the mirror when everything is finished, while Aaron is allowed to go anyplace she needs. In the meantime, in the neighboring room, Amy is having a bad dream about the day she brought forth Maria. She is screaming in agonizing pain in the dream. Aaron meets Mark in the school hallway the following day when he goes to school. He is left speechless as she confidently approaches him, grabs his crotch, and licks his ear. He only desired a little ASMR. Lily quickly approaches her and attempts to appear concerned. Nevertheless, Aaron sees right through her. She asks Lily to teach her how to skate again at the rank and continues to be friendly with her. A room later visits her father's clinic. There, she steals Dan's mistress's phone number and distracts the receptionist. She then sets up for the fancy woman and Amy to come to the center simultaneously. Aaron's strategy works. Furthermore, Amy experiences the escort in the lift. She is grief-stricken when she understands that her significant other is undermining her. The scene then, at that point, slices to the ice arena, where a few understudies have come to rehearse. Mark is enticed into the bathroom by Aaron as Mark meets him in the interim. She abruptly hits him in the knee with a hockey stick when she gets there, dislocating it. Mark screams in pain as he collapses on the ground. He begs for assistance, but Abram abandons him to suffer on his own. Soon, Abraham stays behind with Lily to practice skating while everyone heads home. She starts skating like a pro after surprising behavior changes, much to her companion's shock. Then, at that point, a feeling of assurance dominates, and she starts pursuing Lily with a destructive search in her eyes. Frightened, Lily attempts to move away from her. However, winds up staggering and hitting her head on the hard concrete. Aaron only watches as she slowly succumbs to her injuries as she bleeds profusely. Aaron calls the authorities after some time and tells them about Lily's accident while acting scared and worried about her friend. Maria is the real person in the phone's reflection. Arab finally comes home and starts crying. A detective comes to question her, but Amy convinces him to come back later in the bathroom. Maria confronts Arab about the murder, but Aaron menacingly says that Lily deserved it. Maria expresses her desire to switch roles once more as a result of her fear at hearing this. However, Aaron declines, claiming that she is not yet finished. I literally just realized that Maria is seated backwards. The sailor slices to Lily's memorial service there. The investigator gives his sympathies to Sean and looks Aaron in the eyes. The latter is uneasy as a result. She then moves on and leaves. Sean, on the other hand, pauses and hugs her. Abraham sneaks out of her house later that night to see Sean. While they talk about their lives, he takes her to his room and gives her a joint. Aaron stands in front of Sean and stares into his eyes. After that, she admits that she has been having fantasies about him and begins touching him in shadowy places. Sean attempts to stop her from the beginning, however soon he in the end surrenders. And they fall in love. The day after that, Erin and her father go out to dinner together. Dan is concerned about her health after Lily's death. However, Erin is unaffected by the episode. It's additionally uncovered that after his undertaking had been uncovered and has been trying not to return home, Erin interrogated him concerning his arrangements to accommodate with Amy, and he guarantees her that he will before long make things return to ordinary. After that, Erin begins to behave strangely and eat loudly in an unladylike manner. Dan starts to think about this. Thus he reprimands her to appropriately sit. Aram hesitantly obliges, yet her hatred towards Dan just keeps on developing throughout the following couple of days. Sean is persuaded to skip classes because of the weather by Erin, who continues to avoid school. They fall in love one day when they stay at a motel. However, Erin refuses to go when Sean receives a call from his mother informing him that the police want to question them. Sean is concerned that he will leave, so he answers the call. After that, she tries to entice Sean with kisses, but this only makes him suspicious. Realizing that she has been exposed, he inquires as to why she is avoiding the police. Abraham strikes him in the head with a bottle. Unfortunately, he passed away within a few minutes of this. When Erin goes to the bathroom, he sees Maria in a state of hysteria and the two of them are crying their eyes out, and offer one another comfort. In the meantime, Amy has a second nightmare in her dream at home. We learn that Maria had a twin sister who was deformed, and Dan thought it was pointless to let the baby live. As a result, he decided to put the dog down. Erin turns out to be Maria, Erin's deceased twin sister. Everything makes sense. Presently, back as a general rule, Erin appears at Dan's center and rings the doorbell. She stands week by week at the entryway, unfit to help herself, then, at that point, conveys her to the surgical table and brings a glass of water for. But she starts taking off her clothes, to his surprise. He demands that she put on her clothes again out of rage. Be that as it may, Erin starts to eliminate her other articles of clothing. She then questions her dad, assuming he thinks that she is delightful, and hesitantly says that she is lovely. However, she then asks if he would still love her even if she had physical imperfections. Dan replies affirmatively once more, declaring that he would love her without condition, despite her flaws. Be that as it may, Erin doesn't trust him and quickly slices his throat with a sharp item after he drains to death. An irate Middle Easterner inquires why he was unable to adore her before. Thereafter, she calls out from Maria, however doesn't get a reaction. So she goes back home and lies next to Amy, who is confused. In the final scene, Amy is shown embracing both of her daughters with her arms open, her reflections shimmering. This suggests that Arab and Maria are no longer together. Yes, we succeeded. Better believe it, I simply twofold checked with my appearance. We both agree that the movie was absurd. Turn on notifications, please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.